In this video we will learn all about how to use clipping mask. Now I think a lot of people are afraid to use clipping masks, at least I certainly was, because I thought that I had to have a really good knowledge of Adobe Illustrator to use them. And sometimes I felt that they were cumbersome and difficult to understand, and it almost annoyed me every time that someone had applied a clipping mask to things because I just didn't know how to work with it. But in this video, I hope you'll learn that clipping masks are actually very easy to use, and they are actually not that challenging to understand. Now, let me just present you a case of why clipping mask is much better than maybe using the erasing tool. So I'm going to draw a line here. I'm going to click on the pencil tool, and I'm going to press enter, and I want to make this as smooth a line as possible. And I'm going to just draw, something that looks like this. And I don't know why you would draw something like this, but maybe, I don't know, protein structures, filaments or something. And then I'm going to put a background to it. And this is just to show you kind of the advantage of a clipping mask. Now I'm using size 4 font to kind of exaggerate the effect that I want to, the problem with using the erasing tool. So I click on the rectangle, I move this to orange, and I'm going to right click, range, send to back. Okay. Now I want these lines to be cut off right where this rectangle is. Okay, I don't want to see in this extra lines. So I'm going to highlight both of these objects. I'm going to use this trusty erasing tool. It's at a circle. I'm going to press enter. I want to make it a line. It's a vertical line. I'm going to make it pretty large. Click OK. And I'm just going to, I've selected these two objects. I'm going to click and hold on my first mouse button to erase that line. I'm going to click and hold to erase this line. And then I want to erase the bottom, so I'm going to change this to 0 degrees. And then I'm going to erase the bottom. Okay. Now, notice it didn't do exactly what I wanted. I wanted this line to be completely flush with this outside line. So that is a problem. It just doesn't look as nice, especially if this is going to be a very large image. Not only that, but I can't undo what I just did. The only way I can undo it is if I do Control Z. But if I come back after working with this document for a long time, weeks even, I'm never going to be able to get that back. I'd have to redraw this from scratch. Better is to draw a clipping mask. So I'm going to undo what I just did. Now, obviously, I couldn't do that if I was, drew like 12 objects ahead of this, and I wouldn't be able to undo what I just did, but I just drew it so I can undo it using the Control Z. I want to do the clipping mask. So it's really easy. I just click on the rectangle tool, and let's make a size of, doesn't really matter, 1 point, just so you can see it with no fill. And I'm going to click on this top left anchor. I'm going to click and hold and drag it down to that bottom box. It can be any shape you really want. I'm just making it the same size. I'm highlighting all 3 objects, the line, this little orange fill, and that black outlined rectangle that I just drew. I'm going to click again on that black outlined rectangle, right click, and then click on Make Clipping Mask. Now look at the difference. It is exactly flush with that line. Now that might not seem like a big deal, but sometimes it's the small little things that can make a difference in an artwork or a diagram. Those small little things can be distracting. Not only that, but I can modify this clipping mask. I can click in it. Okay, if I double click, okay, I can modify this art. Inside of it, it's a clipping group. Okay, so it's called a clipping group. It's kind of like you can think of it as just a regular group, except for it's a group that is, the appearance is bounded by this clipping mask. Now, the rest of the object that I cut off is still there. I can still modify it. You just can't see it. Now here I'm clicking on the actual clipping mask. So just watch what I'm doing. I'm just moving that little rectangle. I know it looks kind of strange, but all I'm doing is I'm modifying the what you can see of this artwork that I just drew. Okay. Now I can also, using the direct selection tool, I can click on a corner and I can modify that clipping mask. Make it any shape I want. Okay. I don't even have to go inside the group. If I use the direct selection tool, if I just click on that clipping mask, I can modify it without going inside the clipping group. Okay. So I'm outside, I can click on it, and I can modify it. Okay, so that's pretty easy. That's all you have to do. And it basically assumes that this object is this size that you've already defined for it. It doesn't really consider all of the artwork that you did outside of this object. Now, obviously, using the direct selection tool, you can double click on it, or just using the selection tool, you can double click on it and you can gain access to that artwork and you can move it inside. Okay, let's delete that. Let's use a little more practical example. I've got this synaptic bouton, and I have these vesicles with the kind of a inside background color here. Now what I want to do is I want to actually have this, let me right click, arrange, bring to front. I want to have it overlaying, but I want to cut out this object so that I can peer in, so as if I'm looking inside the synaptic bouton and I can see these synaptic vesicles. Now I could actually cut out a section of this this lighter color object and it would look pretty good. However, I won't be able to modify it very well after that. The best thing to do is to actually apply a clipping mask. That's kind of what the clipping mask was designed to do. And so I'm going to just take a rectangle, draw it over here, and we can maybe eliminate this. So I'm going to click and hold using the delete anchor tool. Just click on that and drag this over. Let's actually make this a curve. Okay, so I just clicked on this to turn it from a corner to a curve line. I'm going to hold the Alt key, kind of dragging it over here. That separates the two handles. Okay, I'm going to bring this up here. I'm going to do the same thing, click on that one corner there, change it to a curve, hold the Alt key to separate. That just unlinks those two anchor. And really we can leave that alone because it basically looks very symmetric as it is. Down. Doesn't have to be exact, I'm just showing you the effect. I'm going to highlight these two objects, click on this top one, right click, make clipping mask. See that? Now I can only see those synaptic vesicles in that background that's within that outer object. And now I can just move it over here and do that. And now if I want to create the border, I can double click on this, click on that object, hold Control C, click away, Control V. Okay. Add black. I think I had a font size, a point size 4. Just put it over there. So it looks as if I'm looking inside that that bouton, and I can modify this accordingly. So that, I mean, it has so many advantages. I mean, if, like, for instance, maybe I can make a little protein strand kind of stick out of the this object here, and that works. Or let's even go further. I'm going to go inside this clipping group. Okay, draw that same line that I had, but I'm going to start it way over here, but I want it to go back behind this other object. Look, see that that's just pretty cool. I can draw it behind there, and then I can have the effect of it kind of protruding out. Now, I don't know why you would want to do that. Maybe if you cut away a larger portion and you kind of want to show that the components are kind of sticking out a little bit, so that you can do it that way. But anyways, that's some of the advantages of a clipping mask. And again, I can just modify this afterwards. So that's how you do a clipping mask in Adobe Illustrator.